Good morning. Now, I know I said I was having a day off. I just couldn't resist. Got some connectors. And I'm beginning to prefer tool stations to the guys down the road here. Last 3 orders I've tried to place, Screwfix are bits missing, and tool stations seem to have everything. No fibre washers at Screwfix for immersion heaters. And they only do very expensive these 16 amp connectors, which I need for the heating elements. They only had really expensive MK ones, which I don't need flash. I just need safe and functional. So anyway, all bought. I'm off down to the unit now. Right, while I've got all this kit out, with relatively easy access anyway, I'm just getting some plugs on the heating elements so they're more easily disconnectable for maintenance, cleaning, etc. So obviously we're supplying power to the kettle, so this will be the male side, so the female half you've got in here will be coming from the consumer unit and the circuit breakers, and the pins are protected. Obviously you don't want them the other way around, or you've got live pins you can get your fingers in, and the British standard finger would go right in there, no problem. So male on the kettle. Done 1, 3 to go. Floor's drying nicely. It's still a little bit not tacky, but I can see my fingerprints just very slightly when I press it, so I won't keep pressing it. Hopefully now I've got these doors open and the warmth is coming in. Might be able to walk on that by the end of the day, fingers crossed. Maybe get some of this kit back over there. If there's any chance it's still a bit soft, I'll just leave it until next weekend, I think. Okay, back in Blighty. I had 4 days in Munich. It was good. It's been a long time since 2.5 years probably, and maybe not 2.5, 2 and a bit years since I was over there. I used to be there pretty much every 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. I'd be there for 3 or 4 days, but obviously with COVID, all the travel stopped, and it's all been remote since. Hence having a bit more spare time on my hands for this little weekend and evening project. But I think normality is resuming, so I expect my travel will pick up again, perhaps not to the same extent that it did before. We'll just see. But yeah, 4 good days there, good meetings, enjoyed it, and obviously in the evenings, a couple of dinners, a few beers with the team, as you just saw probably in the photos. So, but anyway, back here into weekend mode, just praying that when I get in, I've not been in yet, when I get in there, that floor's dry, because if it isn't, then we're in trouble. I'll go get all the tanks back over today after I've applied the self-adhesive skirting board all the way around, well, everywhere I can stick it really, It's that you'll see it in a minute, I guess. But the you see it in hospital corridors. It's kind of got a bit of a radius at the bottom where it meets the floor, so that any splashes and spills don't creep under. So I've got, I forget what I ordered now, 25 meters I think of it, or something like that. So there's enough to go around the area that we've painted so far, and then we can start to think about the other side once we've moved the kit back over. So fingers crossed that's dry. If it is, I've got to call Elliot. He's going to shoot over, help me lift. I bought some little skates, dollies, for moving the tanks last time, but a complete waste of time. £5 each from Toolstation, don't bother. Yeah, we'll go back into manual mode and lift rather than trying to roll. So skirting boards, tanks back, get them plumbed in. I've got to reseat one of the heating elements, which was still dripping when I did that bit of a water test a couple of weeks ago, and then as long as they're all sealed, I'm probably just going to pump some water around and see if anything else is dripping. I'm probably not going to heat it yet. I just want to test the fill speed and the time it takes to transfer, etc. I'm going to try and test out the Sparge arm as well. Again, just with cold water today, just to make sure it's doing what it should do. And then if I'm happy with that, there's no drips, then we'll, not today, but the next activity will be to heat things up a bit, get the cos gleam out and start to really deep clean all of the kit, because it was a little dirty when I had it, and it's been stood in that dusty environment, some with lids on, some with not, for quite a while. So we want that absolutely scrupulously clean. So that's where we are. I'll see you down at the unit. And we're dry. Fantastic. Yeah, you'll see here when we came in the other day, and whenever it was last weekend, and I thought it was dry. I don't know if you can see that or not. One of Elliot's big size 12s, where we tested it, but it felt dry, but it was just a skin on the top, and it was a little bit soft, but that's rock hard now. So a few mucky footprints where I've been walking around, but nothing that won't wipe off. So Elliot's on his way. We'll get the tanks moved over, get the skirting on. Okay, so I've reassembled everything, more or less. We've moved some of the gear around as well, just to give us a bit more space. I wasn't sure whether to do that in case we didn't have the room, but I'm just putting the Sparge arm back together. The tighter I make this nut, the more likely it is not to fall off, but the tighter it is, the less likely it is to spin. So I'm just going to find the sweet spot, and then I'm going to pump a bit of water through and see if we can get it spinning. So there's plenty of water in the HLT, which is currently cold anyway. As I said, we're just looking for drips really. So I'm going to just set this to 200, or I think, or let's do 100. Okay. Just clear the last batch, and then menu to there, set, hold down set. And then that's okay, that's okay, that's okay. Drop that down to 0. That's okay. 100. Hold down set. Now press menu maybe. There we go, 100. So we're ready. So if I press start, it won't run automatically because I've got to turn the power onto the pump, which I'll do now, and then we can see what's going on. Trying to deal with the drips as I find them, because I've been making a mental note. I'll do that one later and then I forget. A lot of them here you can see on that one, I don't know if that's clear, but the O-rings are absolutely squashed flat in a lot of these. Yeah, the O-rings are squashed flat. I've got another, I'm going to pick that one out. I've got another one here, I'll show you. So you got a nice round side, but this side is flat compared with the new one. Round both sides. So I'll pop that one in there and then we'll check the Sparge again. When I turned it on, I had the valve right open, which is like 19 litres a minute. It's really fast and it was spinning around like a Catherine wheel. I think the optimum speed seemed to read between 3 and 5 litres a minute. That was enough to turn it. I'll have to do the calculation and see how long that Sparge will take at that throughput. In fact, it's worse than flat. It's actually concave. Okay, no wonder it was dripping. That's not good either. Right, let's do them both. So if you can hear me, that's 7 litres a minute. Let's just go down a little bit. So that's 10 litres a minute. I think any Any less pressure than that, and it starts to struggle to turn the arm. Wow, 5 litres a minute. So 10 minutes, 50 litres, 20 minutes, 100 litres, 40 minutes, 200 litres. Feels a bit more like it. Need to do some maths.